that we don't really think about a New Year's resolution being I'm going to sleep better, and it's not really sexy and cool. It's not like I'm gonna go to a party, tell everybody,
Right.
hey, you know what? My New Year's resolution for 2026 is I'm gonna get better sleep.
That's right.
I mean, they'd probably look at me and say, well,
But you will look better and you will feel better
absolutely
at the next party.
yes, I will. And now,
Welcome back to the Healthy Sleep Podcast. We're John and David. We're brothers. We're owners of Mattress Grove right here in Greensboro, North Carolina. This podcast is all about health, sleep, and building a business and what that's like day to day.
that's right. And, with that new year coming, man, a lot of people make a lot of goals and resolutions and a reset. And so we want to talk about how sleep is a very important part of those goals. Matter of fact, it might be the most important part of those goals.
There's no doubt about that. Because when I look back over the year, one of the biggest things for me was, stress was a huge impact on my life and my sleep. And what happened was that, the economy is a little tight. We're concerned about our employees, making sure that they're getting hours, making sure they can pay their bills. So those stresses really built up over this year with the economy going, where it was.
Yeah. So did that impact your sleep? Did you find it impacting your sleep?
Oh, absolutely. It was hard for me to go to bed at night and get really rested. I like to get in bed, relaxed, and then I can go to sleep really easy instead of tossing and turning and thinking about, can we do this? Can we do that? How can we get more business? How can we, what do we need to do at the factory level to, create hours, things like that.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I noticed for me in a positive way, and we talk about it a lot, you and I do, but what really affected me in a positive way is, as far as sleep was, just getting up early. Early. Getting up at 5:00 every day, even on the weekends. Now I may rustle around till 5:30 or 6 on the weekends, but still getting up early, and that it creates me to have less stress at night because I'm so tired, right? I'm so sleepy. So that was one thing that really impacted me. So when you're talking about New Year's resolutions and goals, again, sleep can set you up to be better in everything, right? So
Absolutely.
that's why, and I really feel like I had a really good year because my sleep was better. Now, it wasn't perfect. There's no such thing as that, but I did focus on that.
Right.
And I think that's something that, everybody that we don't really think about a New Year's resolution being I'm going to sleep better, and it's not really sexy and cool. It's not like I'm going to go to a party, tell everybody,
Right.
hey, you know what? My New Year's resolution for 2026 is I'm gonna get better sleep.
That's right.
I mean, they'd probably look at me and say, "Well,
But you will look better and you will feel better
absolutely
at the next party.
yes, I will." And they'll be like, "Dang, man, what
Yeah.
you doing? You get your hair cut?"
Yeah, and I agree with you. That for me was the most positive piece of this year as well, is getting up on at that time. And again, we're not perfect. There were some days where I laid in bed and man, I mean, it wasn't terrible, but my day wasn't as productive or good.
Yeah.
And then my sleep the next night wasn't as good until I had like 2 or 3 mornings that I woke up at the same time. So that's definitely something that I'm going to continue to do into the new year.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to figure out some of the things that I want to add and stuff like that. One of the things that was a big thing too was screen time. I said I'm going to cut screen time out before bed. Look, I didn't do it.
It's hard. Yeah, man.
Oh God, it's so hard.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it really is.
It's phone.
It's addictive.
Games. Shows.
Habits.
Just sit down and just start watching TV, and then next thing you know, you're just like, oh God, I'm so tired. I'm getting ready to go. I need to go get in bed, and next thing you know, you're like, man, what's this? So I think what I'm gonna do is every night when I go brush my teeth, I think I'm just gonna sit in the bathroom, maybe look in the mirror, look at myself, think about some things, take about 5 minutes just to really just calm down, have nobody else around me, nobody can say anything.
Yep.
And then then I can go get in bed and be like, okay, boom, I no more screen time
Yep.
after that or anything. So those parameters might work for
Yeah,
me.
no,
We'll see.
I like that. That's part of
Yeah.
a wind down routine, and that was another thing that was kind of second on my list, and maybe that's going to be first on my list. Actually, I'm working on it right now because, New Year's resolutions and all that. It really, to me, they've never worked for me. So I don't even do them anymore because, there's no reason not to start today. Why am I going to wait till January 1st when I can start today? I may not be here January 1st. So, I mean, I want to make today the best day, and I want to try to make tomorrow the best day if I am here tomorrow.
Right.
So, I'm going to start today. But most people like to, I'd like a good reset. I'm going to get hammered and do this, do that, but on New Year's Eve. But then I'll stop. Then I'll stop drinking. Then I'll start sleeping better. Well, I'm going. That doesn't work for me. I have to start today.
Right.
Why wait till Monday when you can do it today?
Right. Well, if you're drinking heavy on the 31st, the first is not going to be a start.
It's not going to be a start.
It's going to be a
sleep.
terrible start.
Not for anything. That's right.
No.
That's so true. So the wind down routine, and I like what you're saying there. I think that makes a lot of sense. I've got off my devices. I used to sit in the bed, and just like you said, check out Instagram, check out whatever, LinkedIn, just whatever came up, whatever was good at the time.
Well,
But it did relax me, but I find that I still toss and turn more than when I pick up a book and read 5 to 10 pages.
Yep.
That works perfect.
Yeah, because it's like FOMO. I feel like I'm missing out on something.
Yeah.
Because my phone is over there and I know it's got something on there for me.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I gotta look at it. So I go look at it, and then I saw a game, and then I started playing a game, and then this and that. So it's just a spiral. So hopefully I can, and I think I have a pretty good idea of isolating myself in the bathroom, and then just that gives me that 5 minutes just to think about what I'm getting ready to do.
Yeah.
I'm getting ready to go relax. I'm getting ready to go lay down. I don't need to disturb that again. So I think that'll work. And then, all the time I'm always thinking about New Year's resolutions. Everybody's got one. Hey, I'm going to exercise more. So I'm looking at doing like a, getting up at the same time every morning and going to walk at the same time. Go do a 30, 45-minute walk. Get me going for the day. And that will be the one that, I'm going to do it. I'm not going to try. I'm going to do it. Yeah. Just how long am I going to do it?
Sure, exactly. That's right. So. Yeah. You're talking about, your wind down routine and what you're going to do. And, man, I've got a lot of things, that I want to do as well. I do them okay. Like one thing, for example, when I'm doing it well, I'm a lot more successful. I feel better is, getting up early, like I talked about, and then, getting in my small little room gym at my house and getting a little sweat in. And wintertime I don't sweat as much, but just getting my heart rate up a little bit. Maybe, doing a few jumping jacks, maybe jump rope, burpees, lift a few weights. But I find that, I set my circadian rhythm, early in the morning, and then I get a little sweat and it wakes me up. And then so that kind of takes my day. I also feel like I accomplished something.
Right.
They say make your bed. Well, I make my bed. I do that. So I've accomplished that. But then I go and exercise. So like you mentioned, a walk is great. This time of year, 12 degrees is that's a struggle. But then you accomplish something.
You're gonna be awake.
You're gonna be awake.
Sure.
You're gonna be awake. But that's something that I hope that everybody, can at least do something. If it's just get up and stretch.
Right.
Some days I don't feel like lifting weights, so I'm just gonna stretch, and I just do a stretch. And some days I don't do any of it. I just get up and drink coffee and get on my computer.
Right.
Because again, as entrepreneurs, we are always, we're stressed out. We got a lot going on, so we're always trying to find different things to do, and also answering emails from the night before or whatever.
Yep.
And sometimes that takes time away from the actual routine.
Right.
But I was doing that every day for many months. Earlier this year, I was going right to my computer and never got to work out or stretch or do that. So and I found that was not as helpful for me. because I would do better if I did a 30-minute, 45-minute, whatever it was,
Right.
workout, stretch, and then handled the problems when I got to the office. I was better.
Yep.
I got a lot more done those days.
No, I can. Yeah, and the same thing for me when I get the blood flowing and everything else. Your brain starts to work a little bit better. You're more awake and alert. So yeah, those are great things, and great things to really move forward. And kind of in that same area, we talk a lot about working out, fitness, and stuff like that. But there's a lot of things that we do. Networking, finding out, listening to different people talk about sleep and just business in general.
Yeah.
And so those are some things that, I guess we kind of take for granted, but we listen to a lot of podcasts.
We do.
Business guys talking about business and struggles. And, those are all pieces that really make a big impact for us too. We're always trying to learn how to drive our business and protect our employees and our customers. And that's one of the biggest pieces that causes stress is when they aren't working so well and we don't have a solution. So as we start to dig into those pieces and learn more about other people's business, that's why it's so great when we get out of the building and go visit our customers. We understand and hear their problems and relate them back to our problems. And then we can, we find a solution and we work together with our network to figure out exactly what does work and what will work. And so, that's how we protect ourselves, our business, and, and continue to move forward. And that's why, we really want to continue to be U.S. based, U.S. source mattress company. And it's very important to us.
Yeah. No, you're exactly right, and sometimes I take it for granted that everybody's listening to podcasts. Everybody's got mentors. Everybody has people that they can share ideas with, and if you don't get them, go find people that are doing things that you want to do, or that are just maybe a couple levels up from you,
right?
Because they'll give you ideas. And you're right. I listen to podcasts when I'm working out. Usually some type of a business or some type of, just anything that can help me, be better, like you said, because I don't have all the answers.
No, but hey, join our community.
That's right.
Not so that we can tell you what to do, but so you can help us, because that's where we are. We really do. We will share. We want to share, and we also want to listen, and we want to learn. We want to be better every day. What do they say about a tree?
Yeah.
When's the best time to plant a tree? 10 years ago.
That's right.
But guess what? I didn't do it. Need to do it right now.
Do it right now.
Yep.
That's right. No, that's exactly right. Yeah, 100%. Another thing about New Year's resolutions, why, and this is why I don't really have them. I just want to do better today. And so, because people often, and I did this. Okay, I've got all these. I've got 10 things I'm going to do in 2026. Well, I get down into middle of January and I maybe got one or two done, but I'm not moving so fast, and so I just end up, abandoning the whole list. Yep. And so I did that many years, and I'm sure I still don't accomplish all my tasks every day, but it's that's one thing about New Year's resolutions. I think if you are going to do them, have just one or two major things, because you can stack on that when you accomplish that. Hey, I'm gonna sleep better, and here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get up at this time. I'm gonna have a wind down routine. It's gonna look like this. Do that, because that's gonna be difficult enough.
Yep.
But if you can do that for 21 days, they say 21 days it takes to create a habit, right? So do that for 21 days, then you can stack another one on.
Yep.
But if you have, I'm gonna sleep better, I'm gonna work out every day, I'm gonna do all these things, I'm gonna walk, I'm gonna jump, I'm gonna run, I'm gonna go to work, I'm gonna take care of my family. That's it's just too much. But you can stack those wins because they become habits, right?
That's right. Yeah, absolutely. And keep your list, but just start with one and then go to number two, and then go to number three. Once they become habits, add them later. Like you said, about every 21 days, add a new habit. Yep. Try to figure out what's working, what's not. Give up one. Give up a bad habit for a good habit.
Exactly. That's always a good thing.
What I say, 1% every day.
1%. That's 360.
You'll always be better.
Always be getting better. That's right. I I know I've done this too, but sleep is one thing that we end up giving up. We sacrifice. Again, because it's cooler to say that that I sleep that I work 18 hours a day, rather than saying I sleep 18 hours a day. If you sleep 18 hours a day, then you're lazy.
Yeah.
And maybe that's too many.
That's way
but
too
but you
much.
can sleep half of that.
Yeah, exactly.
eight to 7 8 hours, 9 hours, whatever works for you. And
Right.
if you can sleep 9 hours and you can work 9 hours or 8 hours and be successful, man, that's strong. But sleep is one thing that we tend to drop fast when we get busy. Like
Yep.
I get busy and I got all these things to do, and next thing I know it's 12 o'clock at night. I've done that so many times, and I did it some this year, and I'm
Yep.
sure I'll do it again next year. But getting back to that routine is the key. Getting back to
Yep.
the things that we know, that helps each individual and helps me.
Exactly. Yeah, because I mean, when you sacrifice sleep, usually it's the FOMO thing. I'm missing out on something, so I'm going to stay up and go to a party or whatever else, and then it doesn't matter. You're going to miss out on something. The next day you're either going to wake up late or you're going to be so tired you're going to miss out on
Yeah,
something. So I would much rather get better sleep. Everybody, there is not a single person that I know of that doesn't enjoy a great night's sleep.
No, everybody.
I mean,
old, young,
yeah.
kids. Yep.
Doesn't matter.
Yep.
I mean, think about kids when they take naps,
Oh,
and they
yeah.
love to take a nap. I mean, then you start to get to that point where I guess we just create it in everybody where I don't want to take a nap anymore. Why not? I want to play with my toys, or I want to do this. It's like, well, I wish I could take a nap every day.
Yeah.
So, but again, it's kind of one of those things where we want to continue to enjoy each other and be in community, but we need to do that the best way we can. We need to get a good night's sleep. We need to be healthy. One of the things that, food is another thing that we've got to watch what we put in our bodies, because if you put a lot of, let's just take fast food. Everybody attacks fast food. Well, fast food is, you eat fast food right before you go to bed, you're not going to sleep good. So those are some of the things that, I'm also going to look at. Again, it's on my list. It's down in my list. But, even if you do have a long list and you're hitting some of those things down at the bottom of the list every so often, it's still good. You're still being better.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think knocking off some of those things on your list and trying to make them a priority will make you very successful.
Yeah. And if better sleep is important to you coming this year, your mattress matters. And so make sure that you go to mattressgrove.com, where you can find a lot of answers to your sleep problems.
Thanks for spending time with us. We hope you got something great out of this podcast, and it'll send you off into the new year with better ideas about sleep, health, and wellness in general, and about business. So we'll see you in the next episode. Until then, have a fantastic new year.